Okay, I've set up my defense and I'm getting ready for the ogre to come charging on to the board. The ogre enters at that end where the water is. I've put my command post in the traditional location. I've gone for what they call a mixed defense. I have a howitzer here and a howitzer here. They're both the basic scenario for to oppose a Mark III ogre. I get 12 armor units. Howitzers count as 2, and 20 strength points of infantry. You can go with there is a great defense called the 4 howitzer defense, but it's very static. This is a mixed defense. There's also the JEV heavy defense. Some people like to use a lot of GEVs. But here we will just have, I'm focusing mostly on the heavy tanks. There's 3 heavy tanks forward. You're only allowed to have 12 attack strength points forward of the line between these 2 craters. So I have 3 heavy tanks up there. Here I have my GEVs in a position to go racing forward and get involved in the missile tanks. And then 2 howitzers here and here. Both positioned so that they can command this side of the hex, or this side of the map. So what I'm hoping to force him to do is, if he runs up this short route, the howitzers will blast him the whole way. If he goes over here and then cuts over, it'll take him slightly more time. I've got a little bit more time to chew him up. That is basically my usual scenario, or my usual setup. And then my son Victor is going to be playing the part of the Ogre Mark III. And we begin with his turn. You have a pen, right? Okay, and then I'll edit this if I need to make it quicker, but we know the game will be playing it more quickly than you usually would. Okay, go ahead. Start with the ogre's movement phase.
Okay, so 3 movements?
3 hexes, and the first hex is your first movement point.
Oh, so, okay, gotcha.
So he can enter anywhere along the bottom side of the map.
How far can these guys move each turn?
3.
3.
Movement 3, range of 2. They can't move across that rubble hex side, remember. Only infantry and the ogre. One thing I didn't mention, going over the rules, when the ogre fires at infantry, he's got to, they come in, they can be 3, 2, or 1 squads in a hex. Each one contributes a defense strength point as well as an attack strength point. So if they're together, they're actually harder to kill. If you fire at, okay, put the ogre, the front of the ogre in the hex it's in.
Okay,
If you fire at infantry and get a disabled result, that kills one of the squads in the hex. Okay, so I am going to kick myself because I position myself where I can't get a shot at the ogre on the first turn. So my heavy tanks do not want to get shot at when they can't 1, 2, 3. When they can't return fire, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I am now in a position where if he rolls forward again, I will be able to shoot him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. And basically everybody's running forward. The sooner I engage the ogre, the sooner I can stop him. Okay, it is the ogre. I have no attacks. It is the ogre's movement phase. The ogre has time pressure. Not yet, because he's not being destroyed yet, but as you can see, I'm moving down and bringing the fight to him. And eventually it's going to be a matter of, can I destroy all of his movement before he gets to the command post? So he is under some time pressure.
I cannot move anymore, and I can't, unless I'm going to fire a missile.
Unless you fire a missile, right. So you see that because of where I position myself, his main battery can get to here. So it's either waste a missile, or he gets no attacks. Luckily, I can go 1, 2, 3 and get a shot at the ogre. And I'm going to take a risk here and go there. This guy will not be able to get in range. Neither will these GEVs, but they are going to get in a position where hopefully they will be able to next time. 1, 2, 1, 2, and the infantry will charge on down foolishly, even though they have very little chance of surviving the battle. There's no cover in ogre, so infantry can contribute a lot, but it usually gets killed. Okay, now I have 2 heavy tanks in range. Some people like to attack the treads and only the treads, since all the treads must be destroyed. I like to take a bite or 2 out of the ogre first so my units will survive longer. So I'm going to be firing this heavy tank at your main battery. Attack strength of 4, defense strength of 4. It's a 1-to-1 attack, so on a 5 or a 6 I will destroy the main battery, and hopefully this die is big enough to show up on there. It is a 2, which is no effect, and that has now done. This heavy tank will attempt the same attack and get a 4, which would be a disable result against anybody else. Against the ogre it is nothing. That finishes my combat phase, Now I have the GEV secondary movement phase. My GEVs can move a second time. I think I forgot that last time. I don't want to be any closer than where I am right now. This guy is going to go 1, 2, 3. He'll go over there. Now again, if he goes this way, I bought some time, though I'll probably lose some units. Okay, your movement.
Okay. Alright. Now if I'm here, I can hit him.
Yes, you can.
Secondary battery can hit.
No, main can hit him.
Only main?
Only the
but
main.
second can hit him and him, but
Yes.
not him.
Right.
Okay.
Your main would be 2 to 1 on him or 1 to 1 on him.
Alright. Main battery against him, so this is 4 to 3, which is
1 to 1. That's destroyed. So this is how it goes with Ogre.
2 secondary on him is 6 to 3, so 2 to 1.
Yes. 5 is destroyed.
And same thing with him. 2 secondary.
Destroyed.
Am I
Wait,
rolling
that was
this
this
right?
guy? Yes.
Yeah, am I rolling this right?
Yep. So, 2 of those tanks did get a shot at the Ogre before they died. But he did move only 2 hexes and not very rapidly forward. So I'm going to move this GV 1, 2, 3, 4, where I can fire at the Ogre, but the Ogre cannot fire at me. And then, or if he moves down the field towards a command post, he will not be able to fire. Now let's make sure the camera's on. Suddenly I'm panicking that I didn't start the camera. The camera is on. Okay. I'll edit that out. Okay. So that's that GEV. This GEV cannot get in range. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy also cannot get in range, so he will try to stay out of the Ogre's range. There. The missile tanks were hoping to get in this fight a little bit later, but suddenly they're here before I want them to be in the combat. I want to take a bite out of him first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if he comes in range, 1, 2, they could get a shot off. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move to there, and the infantry are just going to keep running down the board because they need to get their licks in before it's too late. I'm done. Only this one GEV has an attack. With an attack strength of 2, I will be attacking the treads. Attacks to treads against treads are always done at 1 to 1 odds. 5 or 6, you destroy as many tread points as were involved in the attack. So in this case, on a 5 or 6, I destroyed 2 tread points. I get a 5. 2 tread points are off. That's the first damage I've done to that Ogre.
And
13 more, and I can slow him down, and that's critical. Now, I didn't attack the main battery, which is really my first target, because it would have been a very weak attack, and I don't want it. Okay, GEV secondary movement. 1 hex. Make sure I can catch you later. Your turn. That way I'll be
1,
in
2,
range,
3.
even if he goes full speed.
Your turn.
You have no attacks. Haha!
I am just outside of range of your Mr. Howitzer.
Okay. So he's pausing right side outside of range, so he gets the biggest advantage of his 1, 2, 3. This guy will go 1, 2, 3, 4. My missile tanks, you're going to go next turn 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5.
can't move over the... Oh, I can.
You can. I cannot.
Oops. Okay.
So my missile
opens
tanks
up
are going to
some
wait there. My infantry are going to go straight for you. This heavy tank is going to come over here. I again have just 1 GEV that can hit you. 2 attack strength points on the treads. No. And it's your turn.